All right, what's up? What's up? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today we are finishing up in the green, up $520. So sort of a basic kind of day, which is fine. You know, I'm completely fine with that. What's most important is keeping my consistency throughout the month, keeping my consistency. The first half of the month was a little bit choppy, a little bit slow. So far, the second half of the month is starting to get a little bit. We're seeing days where we're seeing some massive runners like Lucy, ONMD, CRKN. Today we didn't really have like a main winner, but you know, I was still able to pull out some profits, mostly on LIDR and also what was it? LIDR and POAI. So we can take a look at those two stocks and how I traded it and what I think about it. But first, let's take a look at our statistics. So up 520 with a slightly below 50% accuracy, which is, you know, starts to raise some eyebrows. Anything less than 50%, definitely want to take a look at. Maybe the price action is starting to be a little bit more unfavorable to my strategy. You know, maybe I'm not reading something correctly. You know, it starts to raise some eyebrows, and I should be looking at my trades and making sure I'm taking high quality trades. You know, I'm not taking C quality or F quality or D quality setups, because if I start taking those crappier setups and over trading, it's going to bring down my accuracy because most of those trades are not going to work out. And a lot of those trades I'll be forcing it because I'm trying to make money, trying to squeeze water out of a rock, which is just not possible. So anything under 50%, you know, definitely raised some eyebrows about, you know, potentially over trading. So I do want to take a look at that because I also took a lot of orders today. I took 513 orders on a day where I shouldn't have even been over trading like that. I think I traded a little bit too much today, and that definitely contributed to my weak accuracy. So my largest winner today, $137, which, you know, isn't that good. I mean, it's small. It's kind of small. Like I said, there was no setup that was like, man, this is A plus. Let's punch it. Let's go. Momentum is here. The bulls are here. This is gonna go parabolic. There was no setup that I felt like that. So, you know, kept it mostly conservative, trying to just maintain some green here and there. You know, if I can get a little profit, great. Main thing is I don't want to go massive red because today is not the day where I should be, where it's given the type of opportunity where it's okay to take a massive loss. Well, most of the time it's not okay to take a massive loss. You should be managing the risk. But what I'm saying is I didn't have any opportunity where I should be taking that size of risk given the reward, because it seemed like today the reward to the upside was limited. There was no stock that went higher, held its highs, and went even higher for a good 100, 200, 300% or more. Everything today kind of either went sideways, a little choppy. Maybe we had one breakout, and that was it. It was very short-lived. There was nothing that just kept going. Like we saw in Lucy on Friday, that thing broke out, and man, that thing was gone. That thing was just straight up, all the way from 10 cents to $1.12. Absolutely insane. But, you know, my largest loser today was only $30. So, you know, keeping it real tight, real tight. Nice risk to reward here. About 1.8, 1 to 1.8 or 1 to 1.9, which is fantastic. Can't complain about that. Keeping my losers real tight. And yeah, so overall, you know, stats look okay. I can keep an eye on my accuracy over the next few days. Main thing I think is because I was over trading today, when the opportunities were not really there. You know, it's okay to overtrade something on Lucy because that stock on Friday was just absolutely printing. This thing is absolutely printing all day long. If you want to overtrade, this is the stock you want to overtrade, because literally this thing went up all day long. But today, you know, we didn't have a stock like that. We had POAI and LIDR. This thing just absolute, you know, didn't do great on it. I'm up 240 on it. Mostly the opening range. You know, we got the opening range dip, kind of trapping bears, holding this ascending support, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, curling up through VWAP, closing in an area where he previously couldn't close. So that gives me a little bit conviction here for a continuation move. And here, got some decent profit. But I was looking for that rip up to 280. I thought this would be pretty decent. I was, talking about pre-market that this thing could break 280. This is the 200 EMA. And our pre-market analysis on the pre-market pump, the live stream I do every single day from 9 a.m. to 9:30 Eastern time, we were looking at POAI, and I called out that the 200 EMA is right here. This is the 200 EMA on the daily. 200 EMA on the daily is at 280. Guess where we topped out pre-market? 280. So it's good to have the 200 EMA because traders do respect the 200 EMA on the daily chart, and also you can also argue that there is some respect on the 180-day 4-hour chart as well. I do find. But I thought that maybe we're testing the 280 level. All right, that's our resistance. Okay, we're gonna come like a normal breakout. You test resistance, we pull back, form a higher low or consolidation period, and then we come back up, retest it again, and break out. That's really what I was thinking. So I was like, all right, we're pulling back here, but in the bigger picture, this is like the micro pullback. This is the 1 minute pullback after a fresh or like a fresh test of the highs. So that's really what I was thinking. This is like that 1 minute setup, the 1 minute pullback, but on like the daily chart, if that sort of makes sense. So I was like, all right, maybe we'll curl back up. So that's why I was like ready to get aggressive here, but we ended up coming back down, and we didn't really test up to the upside again until later in the day, which was a very decent setup here. I think this is probably one of the better setups that we saw today. It wasn't even that good. It was like a B quality setup, B minus or something like that. But we had the ascending support again, like we were seeing pre-markets, and then we curl up, so we break VWAP, pull back, hold that support, break out again of VWAP, pull back, make a very nice higher low, like a significant higher low here, breaking back over VWAP. So, shorts, you got to think where the short's going to be stopping out. Anywhere from probably here, 238, 239, 40, all the way up to 253. And you break below VWAP. When you break below VWAP, that's bearish. But if we break back over VWAP freshly after that breakdown, that's going to trigger shorts to be like, okay, maybe this is not as weak as I thought yet. So they're going to start either taking their small gains or break even or small red. And then that's kind of how we got this increase of volume here, breaking out over this pivot of 238, 240, squeezing out previous shorts here, at least from the open. Not all the way up to pre-market high, unfortunately, but all the way up to 255, which is pretty decent. And yeah, this is a solid B quality setup. And that's where I made the most of my profits on POAI. Had the 1 minute pullback, still very nice because we're holding previous highs. So I thought, maybe it still looks decent. If we can hold the low here and curl up. We did curl up, but we had a nice false breakout there at 260. We didn't really squeeze through 280, but that's really what I was looking for, and I was ready to get aggressive. I was ready to push it. I was like, POAI, this is the one. Had news on it. It was a low float. Decent gap. Daily chart wasn't terrible as long as we can get over 280. I thought it maybe had room. Maybe room up to 350 or 320. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's why you got to cut your losers. You may have a thesis. Like today. I had that thesis of breaking 280. But not every time it's going to work out. So what's your plan? What's your plan if it doesn't work out? Every good trader has a plan when it doesn't work out. And that's how they're able to keep their losses very, very small. They're not holding and hoping. They're not just like holding their shares and just praying maybe one day in the future it's going to be back over 360. We're not doing that. That's actually one of the biggest traps for beginner traders is, they take a loss or they have a thesis and they buy in the right area, but it doesn't work out for that one time. and they're holding for weeks. It's like most 1-day trade. This 10-minute trade, 5-minute trade turns into a 10-day, 5-day, 10-day trade, 1-month trade, 6-month trade. Before you know it, they've been investing in the company for 10 years and it decides to go bankrupt and they lose everything. That I've seen that story so many times because I've also done it. I've also have turned a 5-second scalp into a 10-month trade. I've done it. And that's not the way to go. That means you do not have a plan when your plan fails. So always got to have a plan, for getting out of the trade. When are you getting out the trade? That's the most important part. It's not when you get in the trade. I mean, yeah, it's when you get in the trade, but you really there's a lot of entry points in the stock. However, getting out, you're either getting out for profit or you're getting out for a loss. There's no in between, really. I mean, yeah, you have break-even trades, but it's not most of the time you're either green or you're red. So when you're in the green, yeah, it's easy to take your profits. It's easy. It feels good. But when you're taking a loss, it's like some people panic, some people freeze up, some people let it go a little bit longer than it should, and that's how you blow up accounts. That's why you can't figure out a profitable strategy, because you don't have that plan when the stock goes against you. You got to have a solid plan. You got to know exactly where you're going to cut it, and you have to cut it there every single time. You cannot let it go even once. It takes only one trade to completely ruin your career. So you got to be disciplined, and you got to stay focused at all times when you're trading. This is a insanely high risk career, and it's not for everyone. But if you're disciplined, then it could definitely be for you. Only the disciplined survive. But anyways, that was POAI. Next, let's take a look at LIDR. This one was it a no news? Yeah, this one was a no news. Gapper. Pretty decent volume. No, not even decent volume. A very inconsistent volume. The spread was wide. The flushes were crazy. Like, we're talking 50, 70 cent flushes in thin 1 minute, which is not usually a good sign for a healthy stock, or at least a healthy stock to be getting in and getting out and scalping it. Volume is inconsistent. You had a decent front side move here, but gave back half the gains in one candle, and then gave the rest back in 2 more candles. And then we curl back up, but decent trade here. And again, another B quality setup. Really, this is B minus, not that great, but a decent on the 5-minute. If you look at it here, we have a nice cup and handle. So forming the cup here, retesting the highs for the finish of the cup, and then now forming our handle. Volume coming in, squeezing through the highs, squeezing out shorts likely in this area here since the market open, or the open high at 940 here. So squeezing out there 470 all the way up to 515, which is pretty decent. That's where I made most of my profits here on LIDR. And then what I like is the 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback. So we had our 5-minute breakout. Here's our 1-minute pullback to the 90 EMA, getting in here. And because we had a nice range, I was able to take some decent profits from 473 all the way up to $5. So pretty decent trade there. And then again, looking for the curl through 515. So we got a nice break of the pivot here on LIDR at 504, looking for the break of the high. We break out by a couple cents, and then we literally teleport down to 475. And I was able to get out, thank God, before that happened. But it's a high risk stock for sure. It's a high risk stock, and just because of that spread, inconsistent volume, and overall choppiness. But I was able to kind of be selective and snipe these decent entries, and take home some bacon. $309. It wasn't the biggest day, but I'll definitely take it. $500. That used to be my weekly paycheck. That used to be my weekly paycheck at Macy's folding women's clothes. And here I am making it in one day. I can't complain. I cannot complain. This is great money. This is great money. $500. Heck, man, I'll take it. It was a slow day, but I was able to work with what I got. Hopefully, you guys were able to pull something out. We also had PEGY, which is not too bad for the penny stocks. So I know a lot of you guys like these crazy penny runners the past few weeks. And honestly, I've been liking them too. Lucy, I actually killed, and I regret not going harder on that one. But yeah, this month, and I think last month, crazy penny runner. So I definitely want to, keep a little bit more focused on the penny runners because I've been having great opportunity. So maybe we'll get another one this week or next week. Who knows? But Peggy did run, but I didn't like it because it was a 94 million share float, which was a lot higher than Lucy. Lucy made that crazy move, but it was only an 8 million share float. So that's probably had to contribute, with the differences in price action and overall momentum between Peggy and Lucy. Well, Peggy couldn't fill those big shoes of that crazy 500% run on Lucy all day on Friday. Peggy just could not replace it, or could not one-up it at least. Anything else today? Let's see. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. It was a nice long weekend. If you guys don't notice, I'm wearing a RT shirt supporting the Relentless Trading community. Me and him got together for Memorial Day, had a good time, and just had a nice barbecue and chilling in near the beaches. So it was always a good time hanging out with RT. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday weekend. Got to see family, hang out, relax, maybe do a little bit of studying, but mostly, keeping your head away from the market is always healthy as well. You always need a break. You always need a break from the markets, which is why I don't support this 24/7 market proposal. A 24/7 market proposal, I think, is a terrible idea. I don't want to be looking at the market 24/7. I love trading, but I don't love trading to where, I know that it's just going to negatively impact my mental health if I am always glued to the market. I need to be able to distance myself from the market every now and then. And it's great that we have the weekends because it forces you, because the market's closed. The market's closed, and it forces you to take a step away from the market and reassess if you're having a bad time or even if you're having a good time in the market. It's always good, to just reset, back to baseline. But if we have the 24/7 market, I'm not going to be able to do that. It's just going to be on all the time. I'm always going to be looking. I think it's going to be terrible. But let's take a look here. AWIN has been ripping here. Okay, whoa. All right, so AWIN. This one, power hour move. Awin Technology shares trading higher after the company announced year-over-year increase in Q1 EPS results, earnings per share. So a decent catalyst. Earnings news were up. We're up from 350 up to 899. Halted up on volatility. Halted up on volatility at 899, showing a 931 resumption. So anyone who's in this halt, man, they could be making some decent coin here. 15. So we halted at 1553. We're gonna open up at 1558. So we'll hang out for the resumption and maybe for the close. I just want to kind of check out and see the price action. I don't think I'm going to do any trading since I already am at 513 orders. And last time I checked on this stock, the spread was like 50 cents. But we can take a look at the community and see if anyone is trading it. Yeah, looks like we have a couple guys trading it here in the community. I'll see with this on halts. But if you guys are still watching, hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're new, consider subscribing. I'd love to have a part of the community. You guys can check out the links down in the description. You guys can check out the Triad Trading Archives and MMU. And that is where I post my full recording of my trades from beginning to end of my trading day. I post that in the archives on MMU every single day. If you guys wanted to see how I trade, my exact entries and exits, how I'm able to make money out of the market, you guys can sign up for that with the link in the description. It is about, for the 1 year membership, it's $195. To break that by month, what is that, like 15? It's like $16, $17 a month, and you'll have the access for an entire year for every single day that I trade. You guys can take a look at the raw archive footage of my entries and exits. You guys can see exactly how I do it. It's kind of like peeking behind the curtain. I don't like to post that stuff publicly, since everybody does trade different. But if you do want to see exactly how I trade, then you can definitely check that out. What else? If you guys wanted to sign up for the course, if you guys actually want to learn like the fundamentals of day trading, the fundamentals of the strategy, hyper scalping strategy, through that link you can go to the home page and you can check out Merciless Markets, and this one is literally from beginning to advanced, about trading, and then also the strategy, and it gives you certain edges that we use every single day with the hyper scalping strategy that a lot of traders use to be profitable in the market, including me. So these setups are setups that I use every single day, and this is how I profit. These are the strategies, and it goes from A to Z. It's literally everything. It literally starts with to the stock market. Like, this is like the basics of 101, stock market 101, fundamental versus technical analysis, how to navigate the stock market, long-term investing, dividend investing, swing trading, day trading, all the basics. And then it also goes into the strategy, the actual strategy. So from the basics, chart patterns, level 2, what's a breakout, what's a pullback, what's a candlestick, some people don't even know what a candlestick. If you're at that point, if you're still at the beginning, still MMU is a really good stepping stone to get involved with the market. And then we start to go into, you have risk management, hotkeys, day trading styles, the micro scalper, the longer hold time. And then we go through the edges, which is, if you're already kind of know how the market works, what's a float, you know how to read volume, level 2, tape, chart patterns, daily charts, all that stuff, shares outstanding, multi-time frame alignments, the 5-minute chart, 1-minute charts. If you kind of already know kind of all that stuff, and then you can probably also get value through the edges as well, if you want to learn the edges that we trade. And this is kind of like using all of that information to build an edge, and you can use this as kind of fundamentals to build your own style of trading if you want to do the hyper scalping. And everybody who's a hyper scalper, like, we kind of all trade different because there's so much opportunity, there's so many entry points with the hyper scalping strategy. One person may like trading highs, the highs of the chart, looking for a continuation. Some people like to focus on the lows. Some people like to focus on the range. Some people like to only trade backside, believe it or not. So everybody has their own little style, but the hyper scalping is more of like a broad umbrella, and then we have all of our edges that you can use hyper scalping to capitalize on. So that's a little bit of the background. Let's take a look at Awin. Looks like we're not going to open up at the market open. Market's going to close in 2 seconds here. We're going to open up here at the market close. Where are we at here on Awin? 906, 915. Is a little bit delayed there. Well, I mean, anyone who's holding into that, maybe they got a 10, 20 cent gain there. I don't know if the bid went all the way up to 980s, but the asks did. Now we're dumping, man. Dumping. Not good. Jesus. So, it's another reason, these halts, this was a 10-minute halt. Sometimes it can be a 20-minute halt. I've seen 30-minute halts. I've seen halts that didn't halt the same day. So, it's risky. It's definitely risky business. And then we open up here after hours where the volume is even lighter. And definitely has a little bit of trouble sometimes of maintaining its levels that it previously made. So Awin, who knows? I'll check back maybe at 9 p.m. before I go to bed to see kind of where everything ended up, and maybe, you know, see something for pre-market trading tomorrow. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap for today, finishing up $520. So nice base hit. Hopefully you guys got some decent green today. If you guys didn't, you know, if you guys can manage your risk and not lose too much and maintain a small red day, you know, that's great. That's successful. You're successful. You know, a successful trader is having small red days. So, you know, don't beat yourself up. You know, focus on your consistency. If you have a small red day, you know, it's just water under the bridge, man. Water under the bridge. So, you know, keep your head up and continue pushing forward. Do what you got to do to maintain your edge. You know, study up, you know, try courses, archives, reach out to people. There's so many things that you can do to improve as a trader. You got to do everything. You got to do everything in your power to be successful. And that's the main thing. And also maintain your success. You know, there's some times in my career that I start to doubt that I still have an edge. And in those moments, you know, I got to do whatever I got to do to maintain that, to maintain the edge, to build my edge back. Sometimes I relearn the fundamentals. I go back through courses that I purchased, and I watch the courses again. I go on YouTube. I reach out to people. I watch my archives. I watch other people's archives. And those are the things that I can do to maintain my edge and even build an edge from scratch. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the recap. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.